Some interesting findings in a new global online study from Pitney Bowes. I'm joined by the company's president of global e-commerce, Lila Snyder. Nice to see you here.
Nice to see you too.
Well, let's run through some of these findings. It seems that this is good news for companies like the Amazon, eBay, Alibabas of the world, because consumers gravitate there first.
That's right. So we see about 2/3 of consumers really want to shop on marketplaces, and that varies in different countries around the world. They do go to retailer and brand sites as well, but they preference marketplaces.
And they like search engines too. What did you find there?
Similarly, they start with search engines. So about 2/3 of consumers start on a search engine to find products, and they'll search for something they like and then go through to the website.
So one interesting thing you looked at was basically how online shopping varies country to country.
Yeah.
So what were some of the highlights there?
Yeah, it's one of the things we're most interested in is those local nuances. And so we see things, not surprisingly, mobile is important, but in a country like China, mobile is even more important. So we know that when you're thinking about doing a cross-border transaction into China, you really have to be thinking about the mobile experience and does it work there? And really thinking about, am I running Google Analytics in my checkout? Will it work there? So that local nuance becomes very important for the retailer to get it right.
And a lot of people like to buy in the U.S., apparently. It's the top e-destination.
Right. Yeah, so when we look at the destinations, global consumers are looking for products from the U.S., the U.K., and Germany for the most part.
And there are some countries where people are looking outside their home base in terms of buying. Now, why is that? You found Australians, for instance, there's a wide mix of people.
Yeah, Australians, Canadians, but we see it around the world. Often they're looking for selection and product quality, so products they can't get at home. Sometimes they're looking for price. So we see a bunch of different reasons people will go online, but it's getting more popular. About 1/3 of consumers around the world have now tried buying from a retailer outside their home country.
So what about shipping then in that case? Isn't it a lot higher in terms of the costs?
It does cost a little bit more. We work really hard with our clients to bring those costs down. It is one of the most important things to get right if you're a retailer going abroad, but again, consumers are really looking for those brands and retailers they can't get locally, and so they're willing to pay that if they're interested in the products.
What was the biggest change in this survey compared to last year?
You know, we're seeing things like mobile and social take off. That shouldn't be surprising, particularly around searching on social. Countries like India and China, it was really prevalent in this survey, so we see that. We also see consumers feeling more comfortable with it, so fewer consumers around the world are worried about shopping cross-border.
So this is, of course, the big shopping season. It's upon us in a couple of weeks for those who haven't started like myself. What does a retailer take away from this, or an online marketplace? How can they use this to really propel their own sales?
I think it helps them plan their marketing. So when they're thinking about what they're doing on search in different countries around the world, that's important. Making sure they've got their mobile experience right going into the holiday season, and really trying to reach those consumers where they're shopping.
And how do they reach them on social? What are we seeing there?
You know, it's different market by market, and that's one of the complexities of cross-border commerce, is what you're doing in China on WeChat, for example, in a social environment won't work in other parts of the world, and so it's getting it right in the local environment that really matters.
It used to be so tough. Retailers used to just have to worry about putting enough stuff on the shelves. Now it's a whole different model.
It's complicated.
Lila Snyder, great to talk to you. Very interesting study. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm Rhonda Schaffler for The Street.